It's my pleasure to introduce the great mayor of our great city, Mayor Jeri Muoio. Mayor.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for the warm reception, and a very special thank you to our performers today. The children of Faith's Place, Francesca Alfonso, and the fabulous dancers from the Dreyfus School of the Arts. My many thanks to our new Arts and Entertainment District for sponsoring our performers this morning, and they've also sponsored the fabulous paintings that you saw as you walked in. And I also want to thank, as always, the Chamber of Commerce of the Palm Beaches for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you today. And a great big thank you to Good Samaritan Medical Center for sponsoring this breakfast. Thank you, Dennis, Sarah, and Mark, for continuing to be our valued partner. And thank you to my partners on the City Commission, who every day help to make the West Palm Beach a very special place. Commission President Sylvia Moffett, Commissioner Keith James, Commissioner Shannon Materio, Commissioner Kimberly Mitchell, Commissioner Ike Robinson. And I would like to say a special thank you to Ike Robinson, who will be retiring from the City Commission this year. Ike, we're going to miss you. I also want to thank my husband, Charles Muoio. Without his support, I would be unable to do the work I do. And a very special thank you to my daughter, Dr. Jessica Muoio, and two of my 4 grandchildren, Jordan Alexander and Jada Alexander, for sharing this morning with me. Thank you, guys. They're very shy. You are no doubt aware of the tragedy that happened this weekend at our wastewater plant. A member of our city family, Herminio Padilla Jr., was killed on the job. I would ask that you join me in a moment of silence to honor his memory. Thank you. I would also like to recognize all the city employees who are here today and those who are not. They are the true backbones of our city. And I would ask for all or any of the city employees here today to stand and be recognized. Stand up, guys. How do you measure progress? Not that long ago, we measured progress in decades. It took a decade to build a passenger rail system connecting Florida's East Coast from Miami to St. Augustine, and it took days to make the trip. Today, thanks to All Aboard Florida, we will soon measure that same trip, not in days, but in hours. But how do we measure the progress of a city? How do we measure it for our own city? To some extent, progress is intangible. It's about feelings and impressions. Do you feel the city is headed in the right direction? Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? What are people saying about us? Our city is now ranked by Forbes magazine as #1 Florida city for businesses and careers, beating out the likes of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, and Orlando. And don't forget, we were ranked the 9th happiest city in the country as well. Over the past 4 years, my vision has been to put West Palm Beach on the map as a destination for business, commerce, and fun. Clematis Street, the vibrant urban heart of our city, has been named one of the top 10 greatest streets in America by the American Planning Association. And in the last 4 years, our city-run events, from 4th on Flagler to the holidays at the waterfront to Clematis by Night, have won more than 50 state awards and over 27 international awards. What an honor it's been to be mayor of such an outstanding and accomplished city. This morning, I suggest to you also measure progress by how well you accomplish your goals. 4 years ago, I promised to focus on 4 key areas to make our city even greater than it was. Improve government efficiency, improve our neighborhoods, tackle budget and pension reform, and focus on economic development. In my first year, I reorganized our building department and drastically improved its performance. In 2007, developers and residents were waiting an average of 23 days before someone reviewed their building plans. Today, that number is down to just 15 days. In 2011, we did 21,000 building inspections all year. Today, we do 41,000. In 2011, our plan reviewers reviewed just 3 sets of plans per day. Today, that number has more than doubled. We have doubled the amount of work being done while maintaining, in many cases, improving the quality of service we provide. As your mayor, I know government efficiency and effectiveness is about more than speed. As I said 4 years ago, it's about clarity of purpose and direction. In 2011, I promised the city would have a clear vision of its mission, goals, and objectives. I have fulfilled that promise. Never before did this city have a long-term strategic plan. It has one today. I promised to look for ways to create efficiencies through reorganization and outsourcing. I've reorganized our Parks and Recreation Department and our Engineering Department, and we've outsourced the purchase of fleet parts and equipment, as well as groundskeeping to improve services, and are now, right now, studying ways to find efficiencies in our Sanitation Department. Before I became mayor, the city had never before had a long-term 10-year budget plan. It has one today. Never before did the city have a stormwater master plan, a long-term drought plan, or even a short-term emergency water supply plan. It has them all today. Like your businesses, improving government is an ever-changing process, and my sights are set on the future. Our future depends on our ability to define our own path. 2 months ago, I created a director-level position to focus on strategic innovations and long-range planning. In just 20 years, our city population is expected to grow by 25%. We must take responsible, effective steps now to ensure that we're ready. One of those steps is ensuring our water system is ready for the next 50 years. Last week, the City Commission voted to follow the examples set by cities like New York, Cincinnati, and Los Angeles, and pursue new technology to meet our future needs. I am pleased to say we have chosen a path that will not disrupt our neighborhoods. It will not raise rates, and it will meet all the deadlines for improving our water system. My second set of goals has focused on the quality of life in our neighborhoods. Over the past 4 years, we've made neighborhoods safer. Today, property crimes are down 16% from 2011. Overall crime is down 13%. And in one particular area, Coleman Park, crime is down 38%. Today, our neighborhoods are patrolled by more code enforcement officers. And as your mayor, I implemented the city's first chronic nuisance program, and just this month, tripled the number of officers dedicated to that program. Sometimes, improving neighborhoods means taking on controversial issues and taking steps to protect their future. I never would have imagined our rules would have allowed a gun range to open so close to one of our parks. I was against it from the start, and when I realized the rules allowed it, I promised to change those rules. Safety is my priority. I did change those rules, and today that will never happen again. From one end of our city to the other, real progress is underway. This year, just as we envisioned the rebirth of Northwood years ago, we will begin the visioning process for 8111 South Dixie Highway, the southern gateway to our city. We will publicly brainstorm how that property will continue the progress in our south end. The next 4 years will see real changes to other parts of southern neighborhoods. Through a unique collaboration with neighborhood associations, businesses, and the Metropolitan Planning Organization, the South Dixie visioning recommendations are being implemented. That will mean more commerce, more entrepreneurship, and more jobs in our city. And this year, we will turn Jeff Speck's recommendations for making downtown more walkable into reality. Like all great cities, we will transform the landscape and create an exciting vibrancy that will fuel commerce. Our Broadway corridor, which presents its own unique set of challenges, is also improving. This year, we received a modest amount of state dollars to beautify businesses along the corridor. This year, I have put Broadway at the top of my Tallahassee wish list. But development in our city must be done methodically and carefully to ensure balanced growth. Improving neighborhoods also means working together with the people who live there. As your neighbor, as your mayor, I've made a commitment to make City Hall as open, accessible, and transparent as it has ever been. City Hall may be my office, but my work begins in the neighborhoods. For the past 3 years, I've held walking town halls, Twitter town halls, morning coffee get-togethers. I've walked the streets from El Cid to Roosevelt Estates. I've had morning coffee from Northwood to our western communities, from Don Ramon's in the South End to Clematis Street. As mayor, I've attended a neighborhood meeting almost every week. These are some of the most important hours I spend listening to residents. Every week, I invite members of the media into my office to answer any and all questions on any issue. No mayor before me has ever been as open and as accessible. This year, I pledge to be even more transparent. We are doing the people's business, and the people have a right to see it. I've also fulfilled my pledge to safeguard the city's financial future. For 4 years, I've demanded conservative fiscal planning and ensured that we don't leverage our future to pay for what we need today. Today, our city's emergency reserves are as strong as they've been even during the best of times in our city. Our solid financial planning has been rewarded with city bond ratings as high as AA, allowing us to enjoy the fiscal benefits of responsible financial operations. But rankings and ratings don't mean much unless they translate to real economic growth. Since 2012, property values in our city have risen steadily from $8.1 billion to $9 billion this year. And this year, we expect to see $200 million in new property value hitting the tax rolls. But most important, since I became mayor, 5,000 new jobs have been created in our city. That's 5,000 new opportunities to help build a stronger future for West Palm Beach. That kind of growth doesn't happen by accident. It's happening because I've made economic development my priority since taking office. I created the position of Director of Economic Development. For the first time in this city's history, we have a comprehensive, citywide economic incentive plan that is successfully helping businesses of all sizes grow, open, and expand. I've created a new economic incentive program specifically targeted at arts and cultural businesses. These programs are especially targeted for small business owners who see West Palm Beach as the land of opportunity. Some of those small business owners are here today. They are the fuel that drives our local economy. They are the engines that create so many local jobs in our city. And I would like to ask them to stand, and please join me in recognizing them for the hard work they do every day to improve our city. Small business owners, stand up. Since 2011, 71 new businesses have opened their doors just in our downtown. This past year alone, we saw a 50% increase in the number of new businesses over the prior year. And while a little less than $2 million in public incentives has been given out over the past 6 years to help those businesses, it has led to 8 times the amount of private investment being made in our city. Last year, I unveiled at this very breakfast the creation of the Flagler Financial District, the rebranding of our downtown reflecting the growing financial services sector in West Palm Beach. Over the past year, the Flagler Financial District has proven to be a powerful and successful recruitment tool. Just one example, Automatic Finance. Automatic Finance announced in April plans to relocate its headquarters from Owing Mills, Maryland, to Avernia Street. Company President Justin Raphael cited West Palm Beach's favorable business environment for both growing and established companies, adding, "The city's Flagler Financial District is an ideal location for our business to engage with other financial companies." Automatic Finance is just one example. Many of you know that Florida Crystals has called our downtown home for years, but only recently did they make a decision to buy their building. As mayor, I'm so proud that they've chosen our city as a permanent corporate headquarters, and it speaks volumes that a corporation that knows us so well has chosen to make a permanent commitment to our city. It's a real home run for our city. I bet you know where I'm going next. Speaking of home runs, let's talk baseball. I'm beyond excited about having Major League Baseball. From day one, I've promised I would only accept a deal that would benefit our city. Today, we are working hand in hand with the county to get an agreement that benefits us all. The county will be able to keep baseball in Palm Beach, and we will receive a premier piece of downtown land that will serve as a catalyst for redevelopment around it. Having 2 major league teams in our city to call our city home is a tremendous feather in our city's cap. Reed Ryan, president of the Houston Astros, and Mike Rizzo, general manager and president of the Washington Nationals, are both here this morning. And Mike, let me first be the, go ahead. And Mike, let me be the first to say congratulations. For those who don't know it, the Nationals just signed Max Scherzer for a $210 million deal. Mike is joined by 2 familiar faces who have practically moved to Palm Beach County, considering how much time they've spent working on this. Giles Kibbe with the Astros and Art Fusillo with the Nationals. Please join me in officially welcoming all of them and their teams to our city. I learned last night that Reed Ryan of the Astros has a very famous father, Nolan Ryan, someone even I knew was a good baseball player. Over the next 2 years, we will roll out an economic development branding campaign to sell our city to CEOs and Wall Street executives. In 2011, I promised it, and this morning, for the first time, you will see it. What do we tell the business world about West Palm Beach? We tell them who we are and what we have to offer them.
Long, a place where people of vision have brought their dreams, built new enterprises, and achieved success.
The city of West Palm Beach is a regional center of commerce, offering an environment where dreams can still come true.
Born amid affluence, West Palm Beach has always been, and still is, a place where men and women roll up their sleeves and get things done.
Yet without the hustle, hassle, and hardship found elsewhere in South Florida.
Its government, business community, and citizenry unite to create a positive, progressive business environment
that is supportive and cooperative, and combined with its easy lifestyle and workability,
create Florida's best location where professional and personal lives both flourish and where dreams still come true.
West Palm Beach is business, life, balanced. Thank you, Aqua Marketing, for helping us create this brand, as well as the Flagler Financial District material. My administration has not and will not shy away from taking on some of the city's biggest, longest running, and most difficult and most controversial topics. I have led the fight against State Road 7, and for the next 4 years, I pledge to do whatever it takes to prevent that project from endangering our water supply and wildlife. As important as protecting our environment is protecting our children. Before becoming your mayor, I spent a lifetime fighting for better education for our children. My passion for improving education has never wavered, and I'm committed to improving the future of our schools. The public made it clear that a city charter school wasn't the path right for our city. This year, I will implement a new plan to help schools in our North End. I'm working closely with the school district on new and innovative ways to help our children. The future of our children and the performance of our schools touch everything important to us. Next month, 5 new families will move into homes in Coleman Park. They are homes built by our own housing department. We are finally, after a decade, putting behind us the issues we've had in our housing department. 25 homes in Coleman Park have been built or renovated since 2011. 2 duplexes have been rehabilitated. These are real homes helping real people. Real people like Joseph and Mirtha Leo. Both Joseph and Mirtha emigrated here from Haiti. They have 3 beautiful daughters, and not once, not twice, but 7 times they tried to become first-time home buyers, so their girls would have the home they deserve. It is only after our housing department stepped in that the Leos finally have a home to call their own. It's something all of us in this room take for granted, but as mayor, it's something I'm so proud to have been a part of. The Leos are here today, and I ask you to join me in congratulating them on becoming first-time homeowners in our community. Leos, if you want to stand up. Last year at this time, RMA had just begun to operate our Community Redevelopment Agency. The decision to outsource CRA was not without its critics and skeptics. 1 year later, it's clear the decision was the right one. Under RMA's leadership, our Curry Park corridor is now poised to revitalize a portion of our city left behind by the building boom of a decade ago. The revival of the Sunset Lounge, a long-lost crown jewel in our African-American history, will soon be the centerpiece of major development effort in our northwest neighborhoods. In addition to the Sunset Lounge, the CRA is creating 7th Street Square, improving infrastructure and job creation opportunities at 7th and Tamarin. From day one, I have understood that strong economic growth around City Hall is tied to how well we manage public's money inside City Hall. We have not raised the city's millage rate in the last 2 years, yet we've been able to provide the same high-level services. And this morning, I am also prepared to announce that for the 2nd year in a row, due to sound fiscal planning, we will lock in utility rates and not raise the cost of water. My focus on accountability has led to significant savings across the city. As an example, in just one department, the Engineering and Public Works Department, responsible management has led to the savings of $500,000 a year in workers' comp insurance premiums. That's $500,000 that will be used to directly serve our residents. So I ask you this question. As you join me in looking toward the future of our great city, what will West Palm Beach look like tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I will check into the Convention Center Hotel and walk over to the facility for the show opening.
Tomorrow, I see West Palm Beach's economy continue to grow and expand.
Tomorrow, my grandkids' kids will enjoy Grassy Waters Preserve.
Tomorrow, I will see the Broadway corridor as a vibrant and flourishing economic driver in this city.
Tomorrow, I will use the city's bike share program to get to work.
Tomorrow, I will see businesses on the South Dixie Corridor flourish.
Tomorrow, I will see a community of people uplifting each other to their full potential.
Tomorrow, I will catch a high-speed train from West Palm to Orlando, Florida.
Tomorrow, I will stand in the middle of the world's finest international marine industry cluster.
So how do you measure a city's progress? By awards? By the number of new businesses, new construction, or new jobs? By the number of children who realize new opportunities? By how well we met our goals from 4 years ago? Or do we measure a city not only by where it's been, but also where it will go in the future? This is now the 4th time I've come before you in January. I hope to be able to come back for the next 4 years, because now, more than ever, our future starts today. I am focused and dedicated to the future of our city, and that future is so bright, I gotta wear shades.
All right, getting good grades, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me this morning. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.